What's going on, guys? So let's do a little bit longer form video of my thoughts on peptides. We're going to do some background as to my injuries, why I got into peptides, and the ones that I take, where do I get them, things of that nature. Also, a quick shout out to anyone who clicked on this with the picture of me that's on the thumbnail. Because that is a ridiculous picture. I hope that you expected that I would actually look like that. That was kind of a joke thing we did for a Halloween get together one year. I had a full beard and we just kind of shaved it down to chops. But on to the important things. So I love the messages that I have been getting already from my network, my group, people that have been looking into this, and I can be a trusted partner or a trusted source for information because I've actually done it. And obviously this is not medical advice. This is on you, do what you do. Everything that I'm going to tell you is what I have personally done for myself, my personal views on why I do it, and personal benefits that I've achieved, any personal side effects. Side note, there is none, or I haven't experienced any. And then in the links, I'll put a lot of the sources that I look into. There's no point in me regurgitating a lot of that, but I can synthesize a lot of the avenues that I've looked down and links and things of that nature and just put them down below. But yeah, I highly encourage you guys to kind of do your own research too. There's a bunch of peptides out there that may do something for you for a result that you want that is not something that I want. But cool. The looks like there's like shadows in my eyes. I don't know. It is what it is. So let's dive into it. One of the things that I want to talk about first is what is a peptide? It's a short chain amino acid. I'm going to put some literature below that really defines that out medically. But ultimately, it's not a drug. It is a natural protein. And I think that that is very important. I do not like taking drugs. I don't like taking painkillers, anything really pharma, I'm not a big fan of, I've had multiple surgeries that obviously require that type of medicine. But that's where I got into this stuff, as trying to heal from those. So my background, I did 10 years in special forces. That is difficult on your body. Any of you that are watching this that were team guys can attest to that. I've had multiple team guys reach out to me for this. If you guys are still active, this isn't a drug that it can be tested for, or that is tested for. I'm sure that there's some way they can test if you're taking a peptide. There's probably some marker that increases that I don't know, frankly. But I can tell you that the Army doesn't test for it. So if you're a team guy, start fucking taking this, is my recommendation. It makes a difference. My injuries. I have had knee surgery, torn MCL, debridement. At the long walk, I tore all the ligaments on my left ankle. I didn't require surgery, but I was on crutches for quite some time. I had a torn supraspinatus and infraspinatus and labrum in both shoulders. That required bicep tenodesis, where they relocate your bicep tendon down to your humerus. I had that done for both shoulders. I had hip surgery for a 5-inch tear in my labrum. What ultimately got me medically retired from the military, doing beach assaults, I tore my adductor and IT band. That specialist after specialist, we couldn't figure out what was going on, and ultimately I had to leave the military. I have significant issues through every section of my spine. Cervical's not too bad. Lumbothoracic is chronic degeneration, multiple compressed discs. The worst is my lumbosacral, my L5-S1. We went to look at surgery, but he said, you don't really do spine surgery unless it's truly life catastrophic on someone my age. But it looks like a melted ice cream sandwich was squeezed down. It's just blown out the sides. He said that he's only seen it in falls over 40 feet or significant car crash victims. So that's super fun. But where did I discover kind of healing modalities? That started with my shoulder surgeries. I was getting Norditropin, which if you don't know what Norditropin is, that is actual HGH. That's what they give kids who have deficiencies, probably adults too. I'm just familiar with it in kids. I found a place out of Ukraine that I could send money to, and then they shipped it from Russia. I was fortunate that I was getting blood work done so that I know that I was able to look at my labs and know that it was legit what I was taking. And I credit that immensely to me healing from my shoulder surgery. I had an amazing surgeon that is the Olympic team shoulder surgeon out in Colorado Springs. He said I was the fastest recovery he'd ever seen. So when I had hip surgery, I started looking at other modalities and started to research peptides, but I never pulled the trigger. Come maybe September-ish of 2023, I was having significant shoulder pain again. I had retore my labrum and supraspinatus. Got an MRI, went to the surgeon, and I just wanted to avoid surgery. So I started to look harder at peptides, and I was fortunate I ran into a buddy on a camping trip who had been taking the same stack that I was looking into taking. So I had some bona fides there, is what I'm trying to give you guys, funny enough, of a stack. I started taking it, and it is now February, and I feel fucking amazing. What's funny is that I took it consistently for November and December. Felt great. I dialed it back in January as we were traveling, and I started to get the aches and pains back in. For me, training as hard as I can and lifting as heavy as I can and driving myself into the ground is very important for me mentally. If I don't work out like that, I can get into a depressive state, start drinking too much, eating my feelings. It's very important to me. So that's why I'm a PTs and massage therapist dream person, because I constantly hurt myself. But for me, it's more important to be in a little bit of physical pain than mental pain. We all deal with things in a certain way, and mine is through significant exercise. So got back on and reordered up, and we're a couple weeks in, and I feel fucking excellent again. Fundamentally, we'll just touch on kind of what I get. So what do I get? I order from a place called Peptide Sciences. It's a little bit easier to read on this package. They come in vials that look like this. It does come in a powder that you have to reconstitute. Maybe able to read it better here. I get BPC 157 TB 500 blend, and I get ipamorelin, tesamorelin, CJC 1295 blend. Cool. Peptidesciences.com. I'll put a link down there for what I get as well. They have a ton of information on peptides within their site. They have reference documents, citations, so that will be some of the links that I do. Why do I take these specifically? Within research, BPC 157 and TB 500, thymosin 4, I think is what it's actually called, have incredible healing properties. A lot of this is based in anti-inflammatory aspects, which is probably why I feel so fucking good in just some of the inflammation stuff with the way that I train. But it is meant true for healing. You know, you'll see it's kind of gimmicky, but like one of the Ben Greenfield thing, he talks like about healing like Wolverine and talking about this compound. BPC 157 is all over the internet. It'll be super easy to search, and you will be hard pressed to find something negative on it. I can't find anything. I take the blend for both of these blends. So first, let's also touch on the tesamorelin, ipamorelin, CJC 1295 are growth hormone. What word am I looking for? They promote growth hormone stimulating peptides. The bad thing about Norditropin and true HGH is that it grows everything when it's healing properties. So if you have a tumor, it's going to enlarge that tumor. If you have negative things in your body, it is going to grow that. It can be bad. Or obviously that would be bad. It's another reason why I didn't, aside from supporting Russia, but I didn't want to go down the growth hormone route, like the true growth hormone. There's hit or miss research that you find on whether growth hormone stimulating anything works. I personally believe that this does work, and one of the difference makers is that it needs to be injectable. So many of the growth hormone stimulating things you see are eyedroppers or powders, just gut or pills, I should say. I do not believe that your body can process that the way that it needs to. Even BPC 157 has a reputation for greatly increasing gut health. So if you can get BPC 157 pills, but it doesn't cross the way that I need it to heal for joints, tendons, ligaments, muscles, it doesn't cross the barrier from your gut enough that I think that there's enough of a benefit. Someone with more medical intelligence than me may say that there is still a benefit. Most of the stuff that I was reading, this is not. If you want the real benefit for the healing properties that I want, not just gut health, you need to inject it. You will get the systemic benefits that tie to gut health as well by doing it. And we can do other series, which I will do on the functional medicine and the importance of gut health. I'm a fucking super fan. Yeah. Tesamorelin, ipamorelin, CJC 1295 are growth hormone stimulating compounds. Now, what these do is growth hormone as a whole, which is why I think pretty much every CrossFit competitive athlete takes it, because you'd have to test right after taking it for it to pop on a blood test. Is a recovery mechanism. That's why you're able to just train harder and harder. It helps your body recover. These also do help in fat loss and muscle building stimulation through protein. So while I am taking these fundamentally as a healing mechanism, there is benefit in strength, for sure. It's not like a steroid where I'm not even fundamentally sure. I'd be lying if I truly knew the medical pathways of steroids. But the fundamental principle with growth hormone is that it helps you heal so you can train harder, recover faster, and continue to train. So you're able to train more and more. That's really where you get your strength benefit. I take the blends out of a cost savings consideration. Frankly, I also don't want to inject myself with 5 different things. That's annoying. Injecting myself with 2 different things is annoying in itself, doing it every day. But also there's a synergistic effect with these compounds, the BPC 157 and TB 500, the way they work together, the ipamorelin, tesamorelin, CJC 1295, the way that they very much support each other. When you have those synergistic effects, you get benefits that are exacerbated by taking them at the same time in a compound, is my belief. If you find something that counters that, please send it to me. I'm always willing to change my mind. So yeah, that touches on the peptides that I take and the fundamental driver as to why I take them. I'll do in the essence of time, because I know we're already at 13 minutes, I will do a separate video maybe on each one in particular. You do have to reconstitute them. So I go through a company called Bacteriostatic Water. And what you're going to get is a pack of needles. They're insulin needles that you inject with. You're going to get a vial of bacteriostatic water, sterile water that you need to inject it with, mix it with, a mixing syringe. This one is 3 ml. That's what I mix it. When I'll do another reconstitution video of that process when I do the next bottles. You're also going to get alcohol pads, so you can sterilize the stoppers as well as your skin before you inject. For me, even though the mixing kit does come with needles, I get some from, I think I got these off of Amazon, just Easy Touch, 27 gauge, 0.5 mil, ½ inch, and they're amazing. I inject subcutaneously. If I had an acute injury or if I was recovering from surgery, I would go intramuscularly. But for me, I'm just going systemic benefits right now. I've got aches and pains throughout, so I want that. Right now, I'm doing 500 mcg of the BPC 157 TB 500. And maintenance dose would probably be 250. There's some good research out there, shooter's choice. Apparently the only stuff that I found that would be a negative side effect or an OD is if you took way too much, is that it wouldn't work, it would stop working. There's some mechanism in it that if you take too much, your body just shuts it down. I just found that yesterday, so I'm doing some more research into that. The tesamorelin, ipamorelin, CJC, I take 300 mcg, thinking it's about 100 of each. There is more tesamorelin in there, so it's a little off, but it works for me. You know, I've kind of messed with 250 or 500 and kind of going up and down, and this is an amount that works for me. I take it once a day in the morning when I wake up. I slam a big glass of water, and then I take this. I alternate between injections in my stomach and upper thigh, and it works really well for me. You do not get better benefits by, like, if I have hip pain, injecting near my hip subcutaneously does not benefit my hip better, if that makes sense. I needed to reach out to the gentleman that I found this from, because he does it for his elbows, and I have learned since that if once you're subcutaneous, it doesn't go into that area. It goes in your bloodstream and goes everywhere. So you can inject wherever's comfortable. Maybe that works for him, but I did learn that, so always trying to grow my knowledge. So I hope this helps you guys. Sparrow, thanks for hanging on for 16 minutes. Let's do our summation. My overall injuries: MCL tear, hip labrum tear, torn adductor, torn IT band, twice torn labrum, infraspinatus, supraspinatus, rotator cuff muscles, or once each, retore right shoulder, labrum, and supraspinatus. That's currently what I'm working on now. It feels fucking amazing. If you guys haven't seen it, I just did that dumbbell snatch video the other day with 90s. Feeling great. I feel strong as fuck. I take, once again, DPC 157 TB 500 blend, tesamorelin CJC 1295 ipamorelin blend from Peptide Sciences. I get from Bacteriostatic Water the blending kit or the reconstitution kit, and I'll put links for all that below. So if you have any kind of those injuries, you're looking just for overall healing of aches and pains, I'm a huge fan, and that's what I got. Comment, subscribe, follow, and we'll kind of continue down this journey as I play with things. Comment some of your experience and anything that you want to counterpoint to anything that I said, and let's continue to learn and kind of see how we can all benefit each other. One final thing: you're only going to be able to do Peptide Sciences. Unfortunately, the FDA has cracked down on the schedule of these, and even though Merck Pharmaceuticals is now pulling patents on all of them, that's a fucking separate video with the corruption of Big Pharma. But Waste to Well is a FDA compounding lab, FDA governed compounding lab, so they will no longer be able to produce them. Peptide Sciences is a research, they're labeled as a research lab, so they will still have everything. So that's where I'm going to continue to get it. I feel good about it. I hope you do too. All right, guys, we'll talk soon.